Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Money Monday. Hey, hopefully you had a great weekend. I know we did, and it was actually wasn't a bad weekend for us. I just went up to our lake house and just kind of enjoyed things and took it easy on this last weekend of August. Now we're getting into September, starts this week, and typically September has usually been a down month following a slow August. I don't think August has been slow. I might have been lower volume than previous months here that we've seen, but I think the markets have seen a lot of action, a lot of direction, and still very, very bullish here today. So going into, um, well, put it this way, the Qs and the S&Ps already hit all-time new highs this morning, and so the rally continues. So with that being said, let's get into our pre-market prep for this week and leading into September, what we might think's going to happen. We'll also take a look at a couple of our positions and be looking at maybe a couple. I'm looking at one particular trade here, possibly this week, at least possibly putting on today, besides my SPX income trade. But let's do some housekeeping here. Um, well, everyone should know that stocks and options contain risk, and stocks and options may not be suitable for each investor. I am not a financial advisor, nor do I give financial advice. I do not send out trade alerts. I don't do any of those types of things. I share my information here as part of my trade journey and also as part of my trade journal. This allows me to openly speak about what I see in the charts each and every morning and how I'm viewing the markets from my perspective as an older trader, somebody who is 60 plus years old with several years of experience in trading and also in the financial world itself. But from that standpoint, I practice what I'm doing here and practice learning what I see in my technical analysis. This allows me to come back and review these later in the day or possibly review them later in the week. But the biggest part of this is it allows me to openly talk about things and allows me to see things sometimes and keeps me on track with my trade plan. So hopefully you have a trade plan. If you're trading, understand that with stocks and options, with the risk that comes involved, you can lose every penny. You can lose every bit of all your money in the market. It can take it away. The markets are going to do what the markets do, and if you get laxed or emotion or very, very emotional, the markets like to spank people that's an emotional. At least that's how I take it, because that's what has happened to me. When I get emotional about a trade, I tend to get out of the trade and things go against me. So grab your coffee. We have our coffee here this morning. And we will jump into the markets. And on my screen here, you see the four indexes. I've got the Dow, I've got the Qs over here on the left. I've got the Dow, the Russell, and the S&P. Over here on the left, I look at my ticks on the day. So right now they're above they're right at zero, or they closed at zero on Friday. And the VIX is kind of bouncing up here a little bit from a low on Friday of low 16 to 15 up to upper 16, 16.8 here, and then it's pulled back a little bit. It's moving up. It's 16.66 there this morning. Not a lot of volatility in the market, so we'll see if we get some volatility creeping in, because I am looking for a little bit of a pullback. But I do have an SPX trade that is expiring today. It is my I trade a 7 to 10 day DTE income on a credit spread options, and so we've been doing rather well with that. So right now I mean, even if the markets pull back 80 points on the S&P, we still get a full it's going to expire out of the money. So we're looking good on that. We've got one on for Wednesday also on the S&P, and then also looking to pick one up for Friday if we get a nice little pullback, so we can pick up a decent credit on that. But let's go ahead and jump into our charts here, and we will start with the Dow and move over to my weekly and daily chart. And so this is what we're looking at here this morning. The market's just, kind of a doji candle here this morning to start the day and to start the week. It's, we're pushing, we're within 1% of all-time high. So if the market can get a little bit of a rally here this morning, we very well might be able to push up. Earlier in the week or last week, we got a buy signal and we were in a daily squeeze. The daily squeeze fired, but just didn't have the momentum to continue really a strong uptrend, but an uptrend nonetheless. On the weekly, still very bullish on the weekly, holding that 1 ATR, and so we did break out of this trend here, this little bit of a trend here. We had kind of what might have been a bull flag setting up, but at the same time, so we broke that trend upwards. So we got a buy signal here on last week. And so the trend continues. We are in a weekly squeeze, but we have some decreasing momentum on that, which is typically because, the last 4 weeks of August, we see lower momentum, and that may turn into a little bit of a downturn. So we'll be kind of watching this going into September. So I'm expecting kind of an active week. That's how I kind of see this going into Labor Day weekend. And for the long weekend, this coming weekend, that is, and the markets will be closed on a week from today. So I'm looking for some action here today. I think we'll get some today and throughout the week, moving the markets in that particular direction. Let's take a quick look at the Russell. The Russell, if you listen to any of my videos and what I was talking about on the Russell, we were looking at, we've been playing the Russell short for most of the month of August, and we've done rather well with that. When we got down here, the Russell kind of put in a double bottom, a double bottom right here, and then which basically is a very bullish pattern, and we turn around and, well, it followed through with that. But we were looking at this trend line. We broke the trend line. We closed above the 21. We pulled back to the 21. And then on Friday, boy, the Russell had a huge rally. I said, if the Russell breaks this 2260 resistance here, then we're probably going to go to new highs. This was the area I was looking for this to fail. And it looked like we got a failure on Thursday last week. We got a pretty significant pullback, but on Friday, the markets came back extremely strong, and the Russell just lit it up, and had a huge candle here, very bullish. Some may call this a bullish engulfing candle. So we are getting some follow through here this morning on the Russell, and so this is definitely not a shortable situation no longer. So this is very, very bullish right now. At least it's indicating that. Whether or not it's a complete reversal is yet to be seen. We are been in a weekly squeeze. We've got increasing momentum, increasing volume, and we are also on our histograms down here for the RAF indicator has been indicating pretty strong buy signal with the green ready, and then we have the fire signal here that happened earlier last week. So we're getting some good follow through there. So which is not uncommon, in times of we got some inflation, the Fed, everything met on Friday. The markets seem to like what the Fed chairman had to say. So a lot of times we get some rotation into small caps, and out of some of those other stocks. Now let's go take a look at the Qs. The Qs, I think, are kind of setting up for maybe what might be a pretty good day today. Again, increasing, the extremely great, strong trend, bullish trend here above the 2 ATR here, pushing up into 3 ATR possibly. And, but, still way overextended. But there's really no sign that this thing is ready to pull back as of yet. But with all the indicators and indications that with it being so extended, we'll be watching this very, very closely. We'll be watching the ticks. We'll be watching everything to see if we get any type of pullback this week. But either way, I think the Qs are not done putting in higher highs and showing us how strong it is. Follow the FANG stocks, the Googles, the Netflix, Facebooks, the Apples, and Apple has been struggling at the 150 level, but and then Amazon also, I think, is one to be watching. Also, we've got a position on Amazon, so the Qs are looking really good here today. But just like the Russell or anything else, or the Dow, it is overextended. But like I said, not any sign for the pullback. We got ready aim fires on the over as far as oversold. So we are in a ready situation, looking for possibly our sell signal here to indicate some type of downturn here, as you saw here, and over here, to get a significant pullback here. And I think we'll see something happen, maybe not this week, but possibly going into next week or the following week in September. So before this rally will continue going up. As I talked earlier, the VIX is not really showing a whole lot of fear, but it pumped up a little bit here in pre-market. But again, pre-market's a tough indicator to really understand what's going on. Let's take a look at the S&Ps. The S&P is kind of the index that I follow primarily. Looks real similar to the Qs anyways, but again, we've been playing the S&P, as far as playing this index here, because there is a favorable tax advantages of 60-40. So you only pay 60% as far as, short-term capital gains, and the other 40% is taxed as regular income. So there's some favorability there. So I do like this, the RUT and the NDX and things like that for the indexes from the favorable tax treatment that we get on those. But I think the S&P, plenty of room to run higher. It's right in between the 1 and 2 ATR here on the Keltner channels. It's very, very bullish run along 2 ATR here. So I think we'll, on the weekly chart. So nothing really to be fearful here. So look for pullbacks. And for right now, I'm looking at buying, pretty much any dip that comes its way right now. And but we'll be sizing it quarterly, not having a whole lot of risk, because I do look for high probability trades. I am rather risk adverse, so I look for opportunities that short-term opportunities and things like that, to where we can get in and get a 1 to 2 ATR move on the daily chart, or on the 4-hour chart, and then we kind of take our profits and get out. And so that's kind of what we're looking at here on the markets. I got a position on Tesla. Tesla's looking really, really good here. Tesla's been consolidating, pulling back. We had a nice pullback on Tesla here. We got in right in this level here, and we turned around and we sold the 660 strike here. And we may be looking at, this is setting up. It looks like we're gapping up a few dollars here this morning. We've got, so everything's setting up for a run higher on this. So, we break this this level here at, say, 728 to 730, or we'll just call it 730. We break this 730 level, we're going to 750 to 760 is my bet. So looking at this right now, we sold credit spreads, but we may be adding another position here as far as a debit spread, also picking up, kind of what I would call a lotto trade, because our weekly squeeze has fired the last 2 weeks. So we'll see if we get some follow through. We are in a daily squeeze. So this is setting up really nice. I like what I see here. Very, very bullish. Been in a nice consolidation for the last couple months, and so building up the momentum. And so keep an eye on Tesla. We've got a position on Amazon. And before we do, let's jump into Apple. I said earlier, keep an eye on Apple. Apple's been consolidating also. It was in a really nice, beautiful bull flag setup here, and it's consolidating on the weekly chart. We've been in a daily squeeze for the last at least the last 2-3 weeks, and so we've been in this tight range of consolidating between the 21 and the two ATR and the 1 ATR. So this right here, if we can break this 150, this 150 level right over about the 1 ATR, we can break it and hold it. It's attempted the last few times for the last couple of weeks, but it has failed each and every time. So we really need to get above this 150, 168, this high here, and then I think the Apple will be on the runs, and will be on the run, and be one of the leaders. The other one that I'm, like I said, I've been looking at here is my Amazon position, which I don't see it down on my chart over here to my left. So we'll just type it in. Amazon, we have debit spreads on Amazon. I like what I see here. It had a nice little rally on Friday. So we picked it up down here, and it's been pulling up. We had a close above the 21, starting to make that curl here. And if we can get above and close above the 2360 area here, then we're going to be pushing right into the daily 50. We break, and if we break the daily 50 and close above the daily 50, if we can even, which there is a possibility we can get there today and close above there, then all bets off. Amazon is on its way to fill this gap, which this is our target here. Got a great buy signal down here on the daily. The weekly, looking at this, we don't have a ready aim fire on the weekly yet, but I think this strong downtrend that we saw the last month and a half or so on Amazon, maybe, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, so about a month and a half, these 6 weeks here from when we hit the high, is now approaching exhaustion. And the TTM squeeze is also showing the momentum on this here. So I think the momentum is getting ready to switch, and we might still be a little early on this, but on the daily chart, we show the increasing momentum. So things are going in our favor here. So looking for this to hold this trend up here. It's a pretty sharp trend, but if this thing gets some legs and breaks above here, I think our target, and to fill this gap right here, which stocks like to do, is going to happen. Now, whether or not it happens in September or October, but we bought October options, so we're looking at that to take care of that. The other stock that I'm looking at here today, I'll be keeping my eye out that over the weekend, is Disney. Is one that came across here in a meeting. I was on a call this weekend, and this came up here in a conversation. Been in a really tight consolidation. It had pretty decent earnings here a few weeks ago. And so Disney's setting up, but we've got a really nice buy signal down here. And we are in a daily squeeze. So this wouldn't necessarily load the boats up on this, but we got a weekly fire down here. About, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 2 months ago, we got the weekly fire, but again, it's still trading here, but it was, if you look here, if you go back, to July is when that, fired, that weekly fire, that was probably right in here in this area here. So on the daily, was not necessarily lined up with our weekly long-term chart. This is more in line with this signal here, with this uptrend possibly beginning to develop. So, so Disney's, Disney looks like could be something we'll keep an eye on here this morning and this week. Whether or not it's ready to go yet, I don't know. But we might look at a credit spread on Disney if we can get a decent position here. If we get a little bit of a pullback today, I don't know if we're gonna, we might get a little pullback at the open possibly, but right now it looks to be opening maybe right at about where it closed at, and maybe even push up a little higher. So we'll keep it. We're keeping our eyes out on Disney. And also, I'm going to be watching Apple, and Crocs is another one. I like Crocs. We've done real well with Crocs, and also Goldman Sachs is another one. Some financials. Goldman Sachs, we shorted this here on this high here on this reversal candle. We did good here. We missed this bump here. We looked at getting in here, but I felt it was too extended. We missed out on that, but we're going to keep an eye on this here. Whether or not, and see if we get any continuation, and then we're going to be looking for some pullbacks here on this and some financials position. So with that being said, guys, that's our Monday pre-market prep. Make sure you click the like button, subscribe, give us some comments, feedback on how we're doing. What do you think about our analysis? Whether or not you agree with some of it or you disagree, would like to hear from you. So with that being said, you guys have a happy trading day. Have a great Monday. Today is Money Monday. Get your positions, trade your own money, pick your own spots, pick your own entries and exits, and from that standpoint, do your own analysis and make it a great day. We'll see you guys